Interventionism, the ideology in support of state intervention into the market in order to allegedly fix the market, improve the market, or prevent the market from degrading, is philosophically bankrupt and scientifically anti-economics. Economics studies the nature and law of the interconnectedness of the market as a phenomena. This brings rise to the question of, is there such a thing as economics objectively? Is the market phenomena an objective force in nature? Or can the reality of the nature of the market phenomena be controlled and determined by man? In order to answer these questions, we need to ask if existence has primacy over consciousness, or does consciousness have primacy over existence? And what I mean here is what determines what here? What determines the truth? Do we determine the truth? Let's examine what it would mean for consciousness to have primacy over existence. Consciousness is conscious, or aware, of something. That something has to be there first, the truth of the thing that already existed before the consciousness perceiving it. It would make no sense for consciousness to determine the truth of the thing it is perceiving, to decide what it wants to perceive. Such a thing would be an illusion. It would be fake. It would be false. Consciousness that is first conscious of nothing, then something, which is self-created, would not be consciousness, as consciousness has to be conscious of something always. Further, to say that consciousness exists before anything existed is patently absurd. So it is clear that the proper foundation of metaphysics, of philosophy, is the primacy of existence over consciousness. What would this mean for economics? Well, this means that the nature of the market, the laws of economics, cannot be determined by consciousness. It must be determined by its own nature and identity. The market phenomena is an objective, not subjective, force in nature. The implications are that the state cannot by whim change economic law. The state cannot generate wealth from expropriation. As identified by Franz Oppenheimer, no, not that Oppenheimer, Franz Oppenheimer, there are only two ways to gain wealth in society, that being through the political means or the economic means. The political means obtain wealth through theft, taxation, slavery, regulations, and mass murder, war. All these political means are for the state to obtain resources, monopolies, and conquer territory for its fuel to reach out for more power. The political means take wealth, not make wealth. This is in contrast to the economic means, which are the means of trade and homesteading / obtaining unowned resources through what nature has provided. You motherfucker! The market economy is born out of the free and voluntary association of men to trade and produce. This is where wealth comes from. Interventionism, as it is the ideology of state intervention, necessarily impedes upon the productivity of the market as an infringement on the economic means via the employment of the political means. To fix prices, levy taxes, demand licenses to practice entrepreneurship, other imposed regulations also, and outright prohibiting industries to operate in the hands of private entrepreneurs is not going to generate wealth. As pointed out by the great Ludwig von Mises, if prices are uniquely determined by the market data, they cannot be freely manipulated by government compulsion. The government's decree is just a new datum, and its effects are determined by the operation of the market. Ludwig von Mises, Human Action, page 761. Interventionism cannot make the market better by intervening upon the process of the market. It cannot make wealth by the means of expropriation and destruction of wealth. Its theories of economics, such as the failure of Keynesian economics, is pseudoscience at best, and a perfect excuse for the state to intervene at worst. It takes a negative position on the basic question of economics. If one were to answer the question, is there any such thing as economics objectively, with no, such an answer is a denial of the science of economics altogether. Is such a denial true? Well, let me ask you this. Were the groceries you bought at the grocery store just there by sheer chaos and causeless effect? If you answer no, you presuppose the science of economics and the primacy of existence. It would therefore follow that interventionism is crude, irrational, and destructive, but most of all, Its assertion that it can circumvent economic reality by playing God is a grave blunder. Such a blunder is what we call in the philosophy of objectivism a primacy of consciousness fallacy. Thank you for watching. You made it to the end of the video. Alright, before I go, I just gotta say, big things coming our way. Big projects. I'm very excited. I can't say much about it right now, but I will say about it when it's ready to be said. Have a good one.